Okay, well, week 2 in the vineyard, just about time to shoot thin. And so I want to give you that example. So these are called shoots, and we basically have approximately 8 per side. And so when we prune this grapevine, we want basically a hand's width apart. It's kind of what we're looking for. And then we want not too many on. So here's a good example of Mother Nature doing exactly what we want her to do. There's a shoot and there's a shoot. Now you notice down here, Mother Nature's doing what she also does, is not take attention from anybody and put stuff where she wants to. So we're gonna break that off. That's not in a good position. And same thing over here. And you can see here she's shoved out a whole bunch of stuff. Well, that's too many. And so we're gonna thin those out and like that. Same thing over here. We got a plant right here. So I really don't want this guy to take his space. So I'll probably take that off like that. Clean this up down here. Same thing here. And so then we're looking for spacing. It's a little early, but I wanted to get this on the video this week, that we're trying to thin that out like that. So now we're coming across. This is good by nature, good by nature, good by nature, not where we want it. So we're gonna take that off. And then we come down here, we scan again. Pretty good by nature. And actually, you know, we'll leave that spur because it's in the right position. This one's not bad. We go down here. This is, you know, it's actually kind of fun, but it requires a little more thought than you would think. You got to get good at it when you're not talking about it as you're doing it. So that's shoot thinning. Eventually, you see again, flower. That flower will bloom in another month or so, and then these shoots will go up, and these are called catch wires. The catch wires are down. If you notice where they are down here, where Taylor's showing them, we will eventually bring these wires up and catch those shoots so they're vertical, and we will tuck them in this catch. But we don't want them in the way now, because if these spurs grow up and the catch wires were still up, the catch wires would be here, the shoots would be there. So we leave them down, and then once the shoots are long enough, we tuck them up. All right, you see my barley? We're still growing it, but actually in this area, because we're gonna be working out here later on this afternoon, we're gonna actually mow this row. You'll notice this row's short. Last year's cover crop with some volunteer, like I talked about. We didn't seed that row. Seeded this row, seeded that row. What we're gonna do this afternoon is mow this row short so that this will be our access row. We'll work on this side of this, and we'll come back and work on that side so that we can give this cover crop over here maybe another couple more weeks to grow. There he goes. Cutting that cover crop down nice and short. So now you notice after that's done how much actual compost we created from all that organic matter. All right, well, this is exciting in our gardens. Those of you that come out to StillWaters know we have big vegetable carts throughout the year when we have vegetables, and it's a help yourself system. So the onions, which were planted back in January, our potatoes that were also planted early on, those we could do early, but yet literally Friday and yesterday we put our vegetables from the greenhouses in the hoop houses. And so what we have here is zucchini and cucumbers and tomatoes. And if you look back over this way, you'll see that we have artichokes and more tomatoes, more peppers, some asparagus coming up here, which is totally fun. And if you look over there, those are artichokes. Fun thing about artichokes, come back every year. I heard on the television or the radio yesterday, artichokes were $1.29 in the store. So if you look right here, that's about 30 bucks worth of artichokes. So I'm pretty excited about that. They come back every year. This is a natural one that came back from the roots, and it's starting to have its very first artichoke. You'll notice here is up in our garden area, we actually have an old head train Petite Sirah plant that's budding out. And you'll see there's another row over there. So what we've done up here is these Petite Sirah don't have any water other than what they might get left over from the gardens. And so this is a way of really intensifying what we're doing up here. The grapes don't care that they're sharing the space with the tomatoes next door. Well, a little noisy, not in the vineyard, in the winery. So what's going on here is this is the bottling line, 7 stations. First station, we wash bottles and fill them with nitrogen. And that's what's going on here. Second station, This filler is all gravity. Wine comes in the bottle. Nitrogen goes out of the bottle, covers it all the time. We call that a closed system. The other thing that's happening is yesterday this wine was all sterile filtered, and then now we're sterile filtering it one more time. Lee, who you recognize who works in the tasting room, is getting out of the house and working in the winery. So this station, corks. What Lee's doing is grabbing bottles and putting corks in them, all automated, and that machine also pulls a vacuum. The third station, Mario, he's running the foiler. So that station puts foils on the bottle. And goes over to Ed, another tasting room person you will recognize. Hey, Ed's out of the house, not playing golf. So he's the wiping station in case we splash any water on the bottle. Then that's what that's for. And then around here, we'll swing around real quick. So over here, Cheques puts labels on the bottle. And one of the things you'll watch him do is he feels that bottle with his thumb. Zoom in. And then he sticks it on there. I'll show you one more. Feel the bottle with his thumb, sticks it on there. And then the reason he's doing that, if Taylor does a close-up, there's a seam on every bottle. And we like the seam in the middle and not on our beautiful label of Fisherman. Next time you have a $100 bottle of wine with a seam in the middle of it, think, oh my God, they didn't do that right. And Pete puts that on. He's already date stamped these boxes so that we know when we bottled it. And there's the date stamp on this year's Cuvée Blanc. The guys will do somewhere around 150 cases of wine today. We run the tasting room, we run the bottling line about 3 days a week. All right, everybody. Say yay!